JD, I can't believe this. This was supposed to be a happy Christmas. I was supposed to have 2 titles, and now I have none. None.
Hey, Raquel, can you please tell Finn that the reason why I asked him to stay away from Damian Priest is because I knew this was going to happen?
Finn, Liv says that...
Hey, JD, do you mind telling Liv that she's got her own problems to worry about, like Rhea Ripley, and to stay off my back?
Hey, Raquel, can you please tell Finn that the reason why I'm on his back is because he lost the tag team titles?
Finn, Liv says that...
Hey, JD, do you mind telling Liv that Christmas is already...
Hey, guys, come on.
In 3, 2, 1, clap.
Benoit balls.
I still think Kevin Sullivan did it.
I'm Aubrey Edwards. I'm not a wrestler.
Tony's quick sniffs of the week.
No, just my dickhead friends causing concussions and shit. All right, never mind.
There's barbecue sauce. So good, half the face don't work.
With Hogan that close up on the fucking camera reminds me of my racist uncle. I know you ain't listening, but you know who you are, you fucking racist.
Uncle Oh my God, for real, don't tell me that's his name. Oh, no way. I was kidding. I swear to God. It was just the first thing that came to my head. It was the first thing.
Welcome to the Top of Wrestling with your hosts ODM and the Professor.
Good Wrestling Day and Merry Christmas, you filthy fucks. It's the Top of Wrestling podcast. Hey, ODM, Merry Christmas. How are you?
Merry Christmas indeed. I thought you were going to go with filthy animals, but hey, we'll get enough of that on
That's why. Yeah, well, that's true. We are live. Well, not live, but we are here. It's Wednesday. It's noon. It's our Christmas edition. It is well, not the most
we're phoning it in.
Newsworthy week. Yeah, no. Well, we're definitely phoning this shit in. Look at, for some of us it's 12 o'clock. For some of us it's 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that's exactly how we're recording too. That's in. So you could hear it, you know, the party of last night is still in the voice.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
You're sipping coffee over there, trying to get yourself together. And hey, also a happy belated birthday to your kid Vinny.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what we were doing last night. Had a little party. Made some. He requested buffalo chicken mac and cheese. So I kind of just
a good kid.
Yeah, I just did a spin on the mac and cheese I did for Thanksgiving. Just added some chicken and some wing sauce. Pretty delish. Jackie made a bomb-ass cake. You know?
Nice. Well, today, not that we have a whole lot, but we will be having things to bring to the table. We do have the wars, because, you know, that at least still went on. And what's funny is that you can tell people still phoning it in 25 years later or 25 years ago. It's definitely the end of the year. And we'll talk a little bit about... well, you know, actually, I forgot. So last week we said, our Mount Rushmore of songs. That's what we're going to do.
That's hard.
And I sat there, I go, how?
Yeah.
I don't think that makes sense. And I was like, I think it has to be if I can only have 4 songs that are me, define me, or like there's like a personal connection to 4. That's kind of where I was going to go with. But even that, I was still down to like 30 songs, and I was like, all right, this is a stupid topic. But it is the end of the fucking year, right? I mean, it's the end of 2024, and even though that this coming Saturday, AEW does have a pay-per-view, I'm going to say I think we have everything that's happening in 2024 for the best and worst. So we decided today is the 2024 Top of Wrestling Awards. This has become a yearly thing, which is fun. Kind of change the categories up a little bit here and there each year, so we're going to get into that very soon. But this week, so far, in news, let's just... Have you heard that they're maybe thinking about introducing a Tribal Chief Championship?
I know. I saw it in the notes, obviously. I've not heard anything about this. It wouldn't surprise me WWE's getting as bad with the titles as AEW is at this point. I think we need a really big reduction in the amount of titles. And isn't the Ulafala kind of the tribal chief title?
That's what I was going to say. I'm pretty sure they already have it. The red necklace or, whatever, lei, that's all you need. Something I put in notes here that I thought was decent, okay? The number. Saturday night's main event did 2 million viewers. For a Saturday night at, 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty good. I thought it was a decent number. Meltzer thought it was a very disappointing number.
It's better than Collision does.
Ever.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're going to get into that in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And SmackDown is jumping up to 3 hours now, starting on January 3rd. Wonder if, it makes me wonder. But they're on USA, so it makes me wonder if Netflix, if Raw will be 3 hours.
Yeah, they haven't really confirmed. And the other thing, too, is how are the commercials going to work? Is it going to be just like network TV where you're just going to get standard-ass commercial breaks, 2 minutes long? Or I don't know how that's going to work. So the runtime could really
bet you they could probably have ads in running picture-in-picture.
Yeah, well, that's pretty... they kind of do that already on USA Network, but, that's the thing to think about, right? Because we're watching, rewatching Nitro. It was 3 hours, right? But the runtime of the actual event's like 2.5, something like that, right? So is it going to be like that? Is Raw going to be a set? It's going to be from... 8 to 11, or is it going to be 8 to 10, or is it going to be 9 to 10:45, right? I really don't know. I haven't seen any reports. It would make probably more sense to just keep it on the hour, but how long it's going to be, I don't know. And it depends if there's commercial, because there's no commercials or limited, then 2 hours is fine.
Commercials.
Yeah, then yeah.
I think there's commercials.
With just for what they're teasing for the first episode, I feel like it's got to be 3 hours.
Oh, it's got to be. I was just going to say it's got to be 3 hours.
Yeah.
The build up to Punk and Seth alone, and then getting into the match and everything. Wouldn't be shocked that match goes runtime.
Half
25,
hour.
30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They're going to put on a banger, that's for sure. And they just basically confirmed Penta showing up with the new vignette.
I was going to say, it was like a pentagon, wasn't it?
Pentagram.
The pentagram,
Yeah.
That's what I meant, yes. That was, and then the 0 next to it. But hey, I'm fine. I'm okay with a debut like that. What if there are so many hardcore WWE fans that they never watched AEW? Because I'm sure there are.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about it.
They don't know what the fuck that means, you know what I mean? Like, if they're not paying attention to you now, which I don't know who does it in, near 2025, but... Yeah, I'm glad that they're giving these little vignettes, and it's going to be. I think it'll be a very good reception when he comes out.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you'll have enough people that'll know who he is. But then again, we talked about it before. Just imagine you don't know who this guy is. He's going to have a sick entrance probably, and you're going to see him come out with the mask and the face paint. You're going to be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
You get two. You get 2 Sierra Romeros. That's it. That's
exactly what
I don't
you
want
said
any more
last
than
time.
Yep.
Deja vu, man. I think we recorded this exact segment like 2 weeks ago.
I'm sure. But I'm telling you, I don't want... Yeah. Besides that, this is in Los Angeles. I was just there. And it was a 6-hour drive, and I was like, do I want to do it? I'd have to stay in a hotel.
You would definitely,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's completely sold out. You know what I mean? Like, like you can get like your, SeatGeek tickets and shit like that, but it's sold out, and I'm like, damn, it would have been a good one to go to.
Right.
But another part of news, and something that I finally appreciate and understand, we were excited when the Viking War Raiders, whatever they were all those times, now that they're back to just, War Raiders, right?
Yep.
But Ivar did an interview first after winning the tag team championship. They ended up, he's actually working in the performance center helping new talent as well, which is cool. and which means he's really earned a lot of respect being there over the last, couple of years.
Definitely.
And he said that the reason they kept the Ivar and Eric names as opposed to going with Rowe and Hansen like they always were is because they've made history in WWE so far, and especially even his own single stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Changing his name, he goes, it feels like it's erasing some of my history. So he wants to keep it that way. I was like, okay, fine. I like it. You defended it.
Yeah.
It's not like we always get a little pissy with the names. Like Butch killed me for so fucking long.
Oh, killed all his momentum.
Oh, Jesus, yes, it did. I don't care for him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's feuding with R-Truth. I guess that tells you where he's at.
Yep.
People, with injuries, Edge is supposed to be returning to TV very soon, or Adam Copeland, after breaking both of his ankles, basically. And, dude, I wasn't expecting this, but I remember talking about it maybe 3-4 months ago that El Phantasmo was battling cancer.
Uh-huh.
And he has been cleared and is actually going to be in the now Fatal 4-Way. It was a triple threat for the TV title at Wrestle Kingdom 19, but now he's actually going to be going for that championship in a Fatal 4-Way. I just feel like they're probably going to pull the trigger and give you a good feel-good moment and give him the championship.
Absolutely, it makes sense, and that's awesome news to hear that he's going to be able to come back. He's another guy that had a lot of momentum, and I think when you initially brought it up, it was kind of unclear as far as what the prognosis was and what the timetable was. The fact that he's back this quick is a good sign, not only for his health, but also for people that are just excited to see him back. So I think it definitely makes sense to pull the trigger, even if it's a short reign.
So, a while back, I think we both were like, man, it'd be great. Just let Dustin come over, have him work with the people over in NXT or whatever. Well, he signed a multi-year deal with AEW and says he plans to end his career there. Well, it's fine, because I will say this. He had a very, very good match, and not many people probably watched Final Battle at all. But I did dabble to check out, and motherfucker still got it. He still has it, man.
Yeah.
It's if that's where he's gonna do some work, fine. I'll take it.
Yeah, maybe he can right the ship. I mean, I think we're way past that at this point, but if nothing else, maybe he's got some input for some people.
Someone put up a thing online. It's one of our nominees for one of our categories today, but AEW has not come back from the showing Punk and Jungle Boy footage. They have from that exact moment. That may be the biggest downfall they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it served. Again, we've beaten this horse to death. We might as well keep doing it some more. Get the bats out, because, dude, they didn't even like try to be like, listen, man, you can hate us how you want, but the fact of the matter is this shit can't happen, whether he was justified or not. They really could have tried to take some kind of spin, and instead they just used it as a promo against FTR.
Yep.
So dumb.
I would have much rather them actually talked over the video and then Punk going, why are you talking about me? I would actually thought that was way better. Better use, whatever you want to do, and Jungle Boy's like, I just got done beating someone's ass. Do you want me to beat yours? Like, it could have been great if they just narrated like, but nope.
Nothing.
Anyway, speaking of Tony's quick sniffs of the week, this coming Friday, Rampage is airing its final show. Its best episode and most watched ever, CM Punk's debut.
Mm-hmm.
Collision. Their most watched collisions was CM Punk coming back, and probably the night that the Owen Cup with him and Starks, and on that near 1 hour match with FTR and Robinson and Jay White.
Yep.
Nothing has come back from that, man. Both shows, I mean, it's just... So, adios, Rampage.
Yeah, did you see like the Meltzer's tweet? Somebody asked a question about, Oh, do you think if Tony Khan was running WCW, it would have went under, or it would have stayed over? And naturally, Meltzer went on some long-winded response, and I was listening to a Cornette show, and him and Brian Lance were talking about it, and I think Cornette brought up a really good point. They might both have brought it up, but we're talking about two different things. If he had the money that he had and he was funding it, of course he could have kept it afloat, because he could just keep throwing money at the problem and just keep the show running until the network said fuck off. If he was running it and wasn't paying for it, no, it would have probably been worse. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have lasted.
On par.
Or
on par for where we're at right now.
Yeah, definitely. For real. Hey, there. You know who else had a quick sniff the other day? Robert Kraft and the Patriots. Go Bills, hit the music!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna shout.
I was waiting, man. I swear to God, I was like, I gave it to him. I gave it to him this week. If we don't get to it by the end of the news, I'm fucking doing it.
I was pushing it. Yeah, I was waiting to see how long I could get away with it.
And then we're facing the Jets, and I just saw a very funny stat that the Jets, it's like the first team that lost while having no turnovers or ever having to punt. Or no, they didn't have to punt once, but only scored 9 points, and they were all field goals. Go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, terrible.
And then we got, Patriots one more time after that. So I'll take it.
Yep.
Fuck the Chiefs. Anyway, back to wrestling. So last Wednesday on Dynamite, Will Ospreay got his 44th 5-star match from Dave Meltzer. Not lying. This is real. And in a match against Darby Allin for the Continental Classic, in which he lost, by the way. Will Ospreay lost. Now, I just said he lost, right, to Darby Allin. Will Ospreay gave Darby Allin a Styles Clash from the fucking apron to just the bare floor.
That was rough.
I sent it to you. I go, and by the way, Darby won. Like, I had to let you know that because that was the more fucked up part.
Yeah. That is the fucked up part. And we've talked about this. I think the last time we talked about it was last part, pay-per-view, where Orange got like driven on the steel steps or some shit, DDT'd on the steps. That's a hospitalization angle. Like, you don't get up from that. If you eat a Styles Clash to the floor, it better be a triple threat so the other two guys can wrestle for the next 15 minutes while you recover.
Fair. Very fair. That's so yeah, that was a 5-star match for Meltzer.
Mark.
Friday night, Final Battle. Athena headlined, which is I think like 2 years in a row for Final Battle, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like her 4th or 5th Ring of Honor main eventing pay-per-view, which I will at least give you that, Tony. There's one thing you've done right. It's Athena, which is a former Ember Moon. Mm-hmm. She has been your champion now after retaining against Billy Starks. She's at that time 742 days, so probably now 750 or 749 or whatever. I can't count.
Why? Yeah, great, Tony. I mean, at least you have somebody who's a good wrestler, as your champ. Why not have that on the AEW program? Why is she on Ring of Honor, not AEW?
Maybe it's her choice.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
Like, look, I'll be your entire women's division over here, but you gotta let me be the champ the whole time. She's doing better than Mercedes, who's just dancing.
God, she had a fucking video response to somebody. I'm rich, I don't care. Oh God, she's so fucking terrible. She's so goddamn terrible.
So Jericho retained against Matt Cardona in Hammerstein. And let me tell you something. It was a very packed house. It looked good. It was cool. The setup was great. They got one thing right. It was that. I mean, that looked good. It's funny. Final Battle was like sold out. The Collision tapings looked like it was bones.
Yeah, stark comparison. But I mean, Hammerstein's kind of always that way, right? Like that's a show. Like you don't even care what's happening, what the event is. It's like if it's wrestling, you got to be there.
Well, I mean, Ring of Honor did a lot of good shows there back in the early years. So, and when Jericho retained against Matt Cardona, him, Big Bill, and Brian Keith, that's who's in the learning tree. They're beating down Cardona, and Bandito makes his return 2 years from being away from Ring of Honor. Now, he was a champion and faced Jonathan Grisham, I think, right when Tony bought the company and took it all over. Bandito, on his first fucking move back, concusses himself.
Oh,
he jumps from the top rope to give a double foot drop kick to, I think, Jericho right in the chest. And when he did, he landed down and concussed himself. He got up and didn't know where he was. Everybody that came over to him was like trying to it was bad. Big Bill was like, fuck, I gotta go. Like he just took one little hit from him. He's like, yeah, I'm good. And he I think Bill recognized it. Which is Big Cass, by the way, if you don't know who Big Bill is. But he told the ref, I think he's knocked the fuck out. See ya. And just exited the ring.
And they've been doing all these vignettes with him lately. Like the old Wild West vignettes with him.
The Wild
Dude, it's so terrible. So I'm assuming you mean almost like a shotgun drop kick, where, both feet forward land and you're supposed to land on your back. Right?
Yeah,
but instead,
100%, that's exactly it.
Landed on his head.
Missile drop kick is
missile drop kick. There you go. Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
there
Finn
it is.
Balor does it. Yeah.
He didn't even hit his head. He landed on his back, and it didn't look like his head really hit the mat that hard. I think it was like a whip, and then he hit it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
When he knocked himself out, and he was not there.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway,
more like that.
That's what I was trying to do. All I could think of was Blaze of Glory from Young Guns.
Yeah. He got shot down.
So Nigel McGuinness wrestles his third match this year as the mystery opponent to Lee Moriarty for the Pure Championship. And lost. But Nigel McGuinness wrestled 3 times this year.
Hey.
Kind of shocking.
Yeah. It's encouraging, even though he's going to be wasted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, they retained the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Righteous in a fucking bloody brawl. It just became a Texas Tornado match because they were in Texas. And, dude, no, they weren't in Texas. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. It was in Hammerstein. Jesus Christ. It was basically a Texas Tornado, and it was cool because Sammy Guevara came out with his face half blue, same as Dustin. So I was like, okay, cool. But, man, another wasted talent. I mean, I would have thought Sammy Guevara was close to being world champion by now in AEW. You know what I mean? That was the trajectory, right?
Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong with that. I mean, his comments about Sasha was one of them. That's
probably why he's on Ring of Honor right now.
That's 100% why he's on Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I know we've talked about it.
But he got some X-Pac heat, too, I feel like, for a while there.
Oh,
that didn't help.
Yeah, absolutely. You know who's got X-Pac heat in the Hammerstein Ballroom? Ricochet.
Bitchochet.
Yo, they were not fucking around with Ricochet in the Hammerstein. Yo, as soon as he came out, they were booing the fuck out of him, and they started throwing rolls of toilet paper at him. Multiple.
Mm-hmm.
And people were chanting, you still suck. Yes. Doesn't matter what company you're in, man, you still suck. And I think what Hammerstein was probably pissed off about is, cool, we're about to see a Will Ospreay match. oh, it's against Ricochet because it was a part of the Continental Classic. And it's like, oh, god damn it. It's just going to be flips.
Yep.
So everyone let him know. And speaking of Bitchochet, did you see the spot that he grabbed the toilet paper and wipes from the front?
Back to front.
Back to front. First, ew.
Yeah,
Second,
big time ew.
Second, I knew you wiped from the front, you bitch.
I saw that.
Oh my god, he got roasted hard in that place. Throws the toilet paper back in the crowd, and the best part is that the crowd goes, throw it back, throw it back. I was like, This is like when John Cena in the shirt in Hammerstein, except it's Ricochet and it's toilet paper because they're saying you're a piece of shit or you're shitty. One or the other. Loved it.
The drizzling
Good shit.
shits. Good shit.
I liked the angle they went with on NXT last week. So Ethan Page came out, his glasses, a suit, and he was very sad, and he said, I've lost my smile. Which I was like, God bless you, HBK. You're still recycling shit that you were doing. A couple of weeks back, someone got put through glass. That's something that he did. Did we have someone faint in the ring yet?
Oh my god, I think they did. This was a while ago. It was one of the female stars, yeah.
I think
might have been Roxanne Perez.
Oh, I can't wait for what else he does. Oh my god.
Somebody's going to get beat up by Marines?
Well, I was going to say when he challenges Hogan at SummerSlam and does a lot of flopping.
Oh, the overselling?
Yeah. Bring that one in. But Page, it was a ruse, and he knocks out Javon Evans' teeth, they say, and he crushed his throat by putting the chair over his neck and doing the old stomp. So, big heat for Ethan Page. The beginning of the year, he was in AEW doing jack all.
Yep.
End of the year, he is one of the best stars in NXT.
Yep.
They're doing stuff again with Lexus King also facing Charlie Dempsey for the Heritage Cup. I have this little suspicion that somehow they're going to become tag team partners together because they're rivaling so much.
Right.
And I really feel like it'd be great if Regal was like, I'll manage you two. I think it would just be the perfect, both being second generational talent.
Yep. It would be great.
I think it would kind of write itself.
100%. And the other thing too is how much on-screen time does Regal really want? You know, he may want to just be.
I mean, he did a quick couple of things here and there so far, especially for War Games.
Yeah, that was fantastic. You had to do that.
Yeah. So the Raw on Netflix kickoff show was on YouTube. I ended up watching it, having it on in the background, and the Bloodline with Paul Heyman, letting him know that the time is up. You know, Roman's coming for the Oompa, whatever the fuck it is. I always get it wrong. I loved the crowd. What's his name? Tomatine goes, shh. And he goes, ay, 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 and the fucking crowd loves it. He broke Solo. Solo started laughing immediately. And then, of course, you got the I love you, Solo, from Jacob, dude. It's a solid. I got to be honest with you. I was weary of how the Bloodline would turn out on a second version of it, right?
Right.
They're not failing.
No.
And they're so much better when Tonga Loa's not
there.
There. The confrontation with Seth and Punk, obviously leading towards that big match, which is said to be the main event, I guess, of that.
Wow.
Of that Raw. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked they put Roman in Solo in the end. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's what I would expect.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe you kick off Punk and kick off Raw with Punk and Rollins. Get the crowd hot as fuck right away.
That's true. Yeah. And I mean, you think, I'm just throwing spaghetti against the wall here, see if it sticks. But, you know, if you end with Solo Roman, The Rock come out, and then Cena comes out. I mean, you know?
I saw a thing online. Someone was like, just for the sake of how he's balding, Cena should definitely go back to like his real like crew cut like he was in the first couple of years. And I was like, it's a good idea because when he has the long hair and he keeps pushing it back,
right.
We're like, you're not covering it, man.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, like it's like embrace it. Macho Man did.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan did.
Yeah.
And the women's title match is set with Rhea and Liv. So they got 3 solid matches for Raw. That's all we know so far. But Logan Paul is the newest member of Raw. So when he retired, he was just saying it as he trolled people. And you know what?
It could be.
We talked about it.
Or it could be he wanted to retire, and they're like, no, your contract says you have more appearances to make.
But it's funny because you said, I don't know, man, the Raw Netflix special has his picture right on
Yep.
it. So it was like, and then here he is. He's the newest member of Raw. So you pretty much called that one. And Kevin Owens is still walking around with the Winged Eagle Championship.
Awesome.
Oh, my God. I thought I was only going to see it one night, and now with him walking around with it, I'm happy as shit.
Did you see, because he's been doing a lot of Photoshop jobs with him in the title, and there's one where he photoshops himself with Triple H, where Triple H is doing the point, but he did it over Ricochet. Awesome.
Relevant.
Yes.
Good job.
Bitchochet.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God, I forgot to bring that up, too. But on a pre-taped Raw, Kofi and Xavier, they actually ran down Wade Barrett, saying that's what you have in common with Big E. You'll never wrestle again. I'm like, cool. So he'll be wrestling soon.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been wanting him to, as well as I think Drew McIntyre was trying to goad him, right?
Yep.
So I'm wondering
that's the
maybe
natural
Barrett has a
feud.
match at some point. Like I would do it at Mania. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what else is Drew going to do at Mania?
It's the best part. He can troll for fucking weeks and weeks with Barrett and do shit. You know what I mean? Like that's a Drew thing anyway. But actually, you see, he put out a tweet and he said, like, to take everybody out, even if I have to look like this. And he put the American Nightmare tattoo on his neck as a joke. And then saying he's taking out everybody that was ever associated with helping, like,
the bloodline.
OG bloodline.
Yep.
But while Kofi and Xavier were running Barrett down, Kofi was like, my mom's here in the crowd tonight. And he went to go give her a hug, and she just shook her head and got mad at him and walked away. Aw. She's disappointed in him. I like it. But also, the best part was the backstage segment with the Judgment Day. Carlito's in the background with a Santa hat on. Finn's sitting next to JD. Liv is cuddling with Dom and has Raquel behind her. And Finn goes, hey, JD, will you tell Liv... I'm not going to do it. Will you tell Liv that it's her fault that blah, 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 blah. And she goes, Raquel, will you tell Finn that it's his fault? I told him not to mess with Damian Priest, and look what happened. He lost the championship. He goes, will you tell her? And it's just back and forth. I don't know why I thought it was hysterical. But they're imploding.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of falls in line with what you were talking about Finn, set to be pushed for a singles run.
The singles.
It's the perfect way to do it. JD, can maybe glom on to Don or just go his own way at this point,
right.
And Liv and Dom can stay together. Mm.
Face or heel for Finn?
I think it's got to stay heel for now unless you put him in with somebody that gives him the opportunity to turn face. Because the crowd does, I think, still like him, but,
yeah. I think I like his work better as a heel, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
But also, I can imagine just you know what? I'm out. Again, trying to do his accent.
Yeah,
not really good.
Not bad. I give it a 4.
So, this coming Saturday, if you feel like spending, $60 for no reason, it's AEW's World's End. Wow. Couldn't have guessed this. I swear to God, I had these as a Final Four. I'm like 80 or 90% sure I even said it on this fucking show. The semifinals. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Felcher. And then Bitchochet versus Okada. So, I'm actually going to say that in this case, people are going to be like, oh, nobody wants Ospreay Ricochet again.
No.
I think it's going to be an upset with Kyle. I think Kyle, not upset. I mean, he's already beaten Ospreay once. Maybe this time he'll take 2 tombstone pile drivers onto the steps.
Yeah.
And I think Okada goes over. I think we get Will Ospreay and Okada. I don't think anybody, or I'm sorry, Felcher and Okada. I don't think anybody's really going to care if it's Ricochet and Felcher.
No, I mean, why would you? And I think you're on the right track. I think Okada's just going to win the title again.
Oh, I don't. I actually think Kyle's going to win this entire tournament.
Really? All right.
Yes. I'm actually calling it. I think that they look like they're really trying to push him right now.
Sure.
It looks to me. And so if I was booking this tournament,
exactly,
Felcher would have to go over because Ricochet doesn't get, no way does he deserve it.
No.
Ospreay and Okada don't need it.
Right, but Tony's booking it.
Yeah, I know, but if you put it right back on Okada, it's the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Which
that's on the line against Adam Cole with MJF. Yeah, they're battling for that. But also, obviously, with both those semifinals, the finals also happened that night, by the way.
I do got to bring up MJF's promo against Cole. It was pretty fucking good.
The cavities. I heard you don't have a dentist anymore.
Your dentist isn't seeing you anymore.
Yo, that's it. You
got other things to worry about besides me. Spray tanners, a crack in the floor, a stiff breeze.
It's funny for him to say spray tanner because I'm like, yo, you're pretty bad with a tanner yourself there.
Yeah,
they're both really bad. The world title's on the line in a 4-way, so John Moxley will be retaining against Orange Cassidy, Hangnail, and Jay White.
I really want them to just pull the trigger and put it on Orange. That'd be the culmination of AEW right there. I can't wait. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
The culmination of AEW. Actually, well, 2 things could happen. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Paige pulls it off, and just because Tony likes him so much.
That's true.
And it's especially just to say fuck you to Punk in a weird way. But he has a different moveset. And I would love them to just have Jay White. You know, when you're saying pull the trigger, it'd be great to see Jay White, but it's going to be lackluster and no one's going to give a fuck. It's like Samoa Joe winning the championship.
100%.
So it depends where this is at in the show. If this closes the show, then I could maybe see Orange winning, but he also lost last month.
Yeah. But he's going to keep getting his shots.
Fair. In a Tijuana street fight, which means a lot of tequila and hookers, it's going to be Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa. And I'm pretty sure that this is in Long Island again, if I'm not mistaken. So that's even funnier that it's in Tijuana fight. And the International Championship is on the line when Powerhouse Hobbs challenges Konosuke Takeshita. Hey, I've been getting better on his name, I think.
You have, definitely. Way to go, fella.
I just have to slow down with it.
Exactly. Don't rush it.
That's just like sex. So anyway, obviously I'm not going to run down the same card that we did last week for Dynasty and Wrestle Kingdom, but obviously that'll be the 4th and the 5th. And on the 6th, Raw's on Netflix, and we talked about the 3 matches already. Look at this. Holy shit. Let's go to the table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
Yo, I got to be honest with you. I love to stop every now and then and maybe get myself a little bit of Burger King. I love their fries. That's kind of my favorite, but I really haven't done fast food in a long time.
Jesus Christ. It shows. You like BK's fries. Philistine.
But you know what I really hate? Are the fucking Burger King commercials. The BK.
Hey, have it your way. You rule.
With the tone-deaf singer.
Yeah.
When he's like, You can get a big right? His newest one, no lie, he's like, BK Mel. It was on the background today. I almost punched myself in the fucking ear just hearing it. And I'm like, I hate this fucking commercial. It's so fucking annoying. It's a tone deaf dude. Whatever it is, I don't know. It bothers me. It irks me. Every time I hear it, I swear to God, I could punch a baby.
It's the dollar store voice of taken from the Arby's commercials.
Fair. It's on par with Together, Our Love Will Last Forever.
I think it's on par with the Jennifer Coolidge commercials. I'm tired of those fucking things. Shoot me in the face. Gun.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just getting old, I guess. I'm just bitching about commercials.
Yeah,
now.
old man yells at cloud.
All right, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, we just hit our 5-year anniversary.
Let's see. Holy shit, we did, man.
So, yeah.
Wow. Oh,
Cheers.
Happy anniversary, brother.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah, you have your coffee. I got my Sprite.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, got to hydrate somehow, right?
It's early in the fucking morning over here, man.
You're drinking Sprite at 9 a.m.?
Yeah. I needed something to
You're going to brush your teeth with root beer?
Talk.
At 9 a.m. It's too early to drink, but edibles are still on the table. Let's go to the wars.
Please.
Monday Night Wars! You tell me, Road Dogg, how it feels knowing damn well that you're one of the most creative, most entertaining SOBs in this company, reduced to nothing more than Triple H's bootlicker.
Wait a minute, JR, this is rebel rousing. That's exactly what he's doing.
And Billy Gunn, you tell me how it felt to have Teen's hand around your throat. To have the hell beaten out of you by a guy like Kane. You call yourself Mr. Ass, I call you Mr. Ass Kisser.
Nick's making some great points here. He's trying to cause dissension.
And X-Pac, maybe it's a good thing you were on hiatus, because if you were not, you certainly would have been thrown to the, well, I guess this week you will be thrown to the wolves as well. So here's my point. Triple H is after the WWF Championship, and believe me when I say to you, he cares about nothing else. And so, if Triple H
Mixing the ring
becomes the WWF champion, take my word for it, he will leave DX high and dry, because he does not give a damn about you. He does not give a damn about you. And I don't truly think any of us really give a damn about you.
It is the final Monday Night Wars of 1999. It's December 27th. Not sure if Brett knows that. But it is, hey, I'm excited about this one because I remember watching this Raw and was not exactly happy with how things were being run with the new regime, if you will. So take it away.
All right. Well, it is the last events of 1999, so it's December 27th. Raw's in Greensboro, North Carolina. DX comes to the ring, just for the purpose of discussion. When I say DX, that includes Stephanie now. Best part is Triple H starts by saying, "This is the last Raw of the new millennium." You mean the old millennium? He then corrects himself. You know, it's so funny because you mentioned, they're going to have those pictures of Triple H and Stephanie on the the banners next to the Tron, and they really got a lot of shots of them this week. And I was looking at it, and I was like, man, the one of Triple H, he almost looks like HBK. It's kind of
He has
weird.
a backwards hat on.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. Steph's pick looks like Triple H just slid his thumb in. Well, you get the idea. He says, there's one thing left for us to accomplish. It's the world title. We get Rocky chance. He tells Big Show, you're going to face me tonight for the title, for the single most important title. Stephanie gets on the mic. She's showing a little midriff these days. She's getting risque. Says Kane's going to face X-Pac. X-Pac's not happy about it. They cut a I mean, how could you not? Cuts a promo on Mankind. He comes out and says, I used to think DX was pretty cool. 364 days ago, DX held me on their shoulders as I won my first world title. Now I see a bunch of gutless cowards. He calls Road Dogg Triple H's bootlicker. He calls Mr. Ass Kisser. And X-Pac, you're going to be thrown to the wolves. Triple H, you care nothing else. You don't care about anything except the world title. Mankind actually gets in the ring and he says, you know what? He's going to leave DX high and dry. He doesn't give a damn about you or you. And he points to, Road Dogg and Mr. Ass. And then he points to X-Pac and he goes, I don't think any of us give a damn about you.
Yo, words never truer. I mean, seriously. Road Dogg is an agent for WWE. Billy Gunn's still having a decent wrestling career. Triple H is running the fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where X-Pac is. I know he showed up on NXT one day recently, but that's it.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. He
The
tells
funny thing is he's bald. He has a shaved head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really hard to look at him.
Right. Yeah, no, it is. Let's see. And then he tells Stephanie, I saw The Godfather and he wants you back with the other hoes.
One of his best promos. I think probably his best one all year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beatdown. Rock makes a save. Triple H gets on the mic and he says, this place ain't big enough for the three of us. Somebody's got to leave. Stephanie whispers in Triple H's ear and says, all right, well, we're going to see the last of the Rock and Sock connection because tonight The Rock is going to face Mankind in a pink slip on a pole match. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, I mean, it's tech. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Wouldn't it make more sense that if
they don't use pole matches as much as WCW?
Yeah, they don't use forklift matches. Well, not in that capacity anyway.
Well, they did actually. Well, not in that way. Actual forklift match, but during that Sunday Night Heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, they say we got two words for you. You're fired. China comes to the ring with the cat, calls out Crash Holly. He comes out. They have a match. China wins. And at one point, the cat just falls over in the ring after the match. It was fucking hilarious. We see Tori and Kane hugging in the back. Tori fills Kane in on the weekend, talks about she had a fabulous weekend with X-Pac. And Kane, no voice box or anything, just goes, what? And she puts over X-Pac as a gentleman, says, I could have left, but, I stayed just to honor your word, that dirty bitch. During the break, Tori was talking to a PA, again putting X-Pac over and what a wonderful weekend she had. Tess comes up to her and puts his arm around her, and she freaks out and leaves.
He's got that effect.
He does. Next, we see Pete Gas is going to be a timekeeper, Joey Abs the ref, and the ring announcer is Rodney. In a four corners tag match, it's the Godfather and D'Lo versus the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian versus the Acolytes. This is all a ruse for Mean Street Posse to get their revenge on the Acolytes. Pete and Rodney jump Bradshaw on the floor. Joey Abs fast counts Farouk. The Dudleys get the win, and the Acolytes immediately get revenge. Tori's with Kane. Tori's freaking out. She says that Test, he touched me. He would say these things to me. He violated me. And they hug, and Kane just roar.
No more. What?
Yeah.
Now it's back to, I forgot. I have to use a real voice. Or my character voice.
What's that? What? What? Stephanie and Triple H are in the bag. Triple H asks Stephanie if she told Blackman to not interfere in Angle's matches, and she's like, yeah. He's like, good. Because I booked him in a handicap match tonight. Stephanie's not happy. Kane comes in with Tori. He wants Test, and so they switch it from Kane X-Pac to Kane Test. So next it's Kurt Angle versus the Headbangers in a handicap match. Angle cuts a promo on the ramp, and there's a sign. The 3 I's: ignorance, incompetence, and impotence.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good sign.
So naturally, Steve Blackman comes to the ring and interferes, and Angle gets the pin. Triple H is pissed, and Stephanie's like, I don't know, I told him, but Blackman must have forgot. That dirty bitch. Mankind's with Cole. Says, I'm not happy about this match I have with The Rock, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and apologize for what I have to do to The Rock. So, there's that. Al Snow comes out. We see the mystery logo up again on the Tron. He cuts a promo on the fan. Says, I'm not here for your entertainment. Talks about losing his best friend, Mick Foley. And he goes, some TV writer didn't tell me to come out here and say this. I hate each one of you. Jericho comes out. They have an IC title match. Jericho is already over. I feel like this was like an easy way to turn him face.
I was just going to say this was like his official probably face turn.
I would say
so. In this match. Because, I mean, he was just beating the fuck out of Chyna in her hand with a hammer like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, now they're flipping.
We're like, you know what? We like you. We like your tactics. You're our kind of guy.
You're a go-getter. You get things done. And they're still doing the thing with Chyna, but now Chyna apparently is falling in love with Jericho. She comes out, gives Snow heed. It's a DQ. There you go. Mark Henry's in the back with Harvey Whippleman, and we see May and Moolah in the background. And Mark Henry tells Harvey, I got a lot of sexual frustration built up. Not with you, fool. He wants Harvey Whippleman to double date with Moolah. Harvey says, hell no. The only way I would have is Moolah put me in some unescapable wrestling hole. And Moolah grabs him by the ear and goozles him. And Harvey's like, all right, I'll go. So we get the Mankind Rock match. It's a pink slip on a pole match. DX is watching from the back. Snow comes in. He takes out Rock. Wakes up Mankind to get him up to get the pin. But Mankind takes out Snow, dumps him to the floor. Rock hits a rock bottom. They go back and forth. Mankind gets up and he goes to grab the pink slip with Sacco. But it's a sock, so he has a hard time grabbing it. Rock gets on the buckle with Mankind, and Rock smashes his head on the pole. Mankind took a nasty bump from like the top or second buckle to the apron to the floor. It was a nasty looking bump. He landed like right on his shoulder on the apron. It looked nasty. Rock gets the pink slip. Mankind takes the mask off. Gets on the mic.
Shouldn't Rock be fired?
Exactly. I was waiting for
it bothered me.
I know where this is going, so I didn't question it. But I mean, my thought would have been, wouldn't it have made more sense for Mankind to get the pink slip? DX comes out and says, congratulations, you got the pink slip. That means you're fired.
I swear to God, it was my exact same thought.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Like, it could have been a way better way. I remember it back then. I'm like, well, that didn't make sense. But even now, that's where my head was at. It was like, that's, well, wrestling.
Yeah, because wrestling. Mankind says, you know what? I was thinking of calling it quits sometimes in the year 2000, but it's still 1999. What happened just kind of sucks. We see DX laughing about it, and he goes, I loved every minute of the last 15 years. Everybody, have a nice day. And this is... I mean, he makes a return. There's the whole, surprise. Well, you said Mankind was fired, but a couple matches with Triple H, and I think that's it for his in-ring work in WWE until, some return matches.
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he's going to start doing
GM.
Commissioner Foley.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. So there's that.
Which I like, because it's still him. It's just not in-ring work, which I'm okay. I mean, back then, it's like, oh, man, it sucks that he's not around. But it's like, watching now everything that he did to his body, that's cool, man. Take a break. Yeah. I like your comedy better than I do your wrestling.
Yeah, at this point, for sure.
There wasn't a Mankind match. I was like, yeah, can't wait to watch.
Yeah.
Then or now.
Forever. Mankind's in the back with the boys. You see what I did there?
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Mankind's in the back with the boys saying his goodbyes. We see Matt Hardy with a massive black eye. I think he got that on SmackDown from Triple H. Next, you get Val Venus and the Cat versus Viscera and Jacqueline versus Prince Albert and Ivory versus Gangrel and Luna for reasons. And this is a true intergender tag match where guys can fight the women. Albert ends up pinning Val Venus. Hooray.
They had everybody on this show tonight. There were so many 4-ways and everything going on. That's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. We go to the double date. Mark Henry's reading May a poem and says, Harvey, why don't you read Moolah a poem? Roses are red, violets are blue, my breath stinks, and yours does too. Bam, 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 bam. Whoosh. Mankind goes to the production truck to say his goodbyes. We get a brief shot of Kevin Dunn. You can tell by the teeth. Next, you get X-Pac versus Jeff Hardy. Short match, but solid. This was a decent match.
And they have several more. I think once I think Hardy becomes like a hardcore champion, they have a couple matches, or lightweight champion between one of them. So yeah, it was at least a good showing for the early stages.
Absolutely. Back to date night. Fan wants Henry's autograph, then asks him why you such a loser. May and Moolah attack him, and to watch two 70-year-old women attacking a redneck, slipping all over the floor, not being able to get up is good and terrible.
I just called him Ivan Pulaski at the end zone.
Yep. Probably was filmed there. Next, you get Kane with Tori versus Tess. I'll take the rapist for $1,000. You rapist!
It's therapist. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dumb bastard. Tess gets on the mic to explain himself to Kane. He says, I didn't touch your woman. Don't want your woman. I got enough woman problems. Ain't that the truth? And he says, give her some Prozac. Kane ends up shoving the ref. It's a DQ, but he hits a tombstone on Test anyway, and Tori slaps Test when he's down on the ground. Mankind says goodbye to all the Stooges. DX is watching and says, you know what? He's fired. We got to get security. We got to get his ass out of here. Michael Cole's with Big Show. Cuts a promo on Triple H. Next, you get the Outlaws with X-Pac versus Too Cool with Rikishi Fatu for the tag titles. Outlaws retain. Rikishi hits a driver on Road Dogg, a belly on X-Pac, and then Dance Party. Next, you get Triple H and Steph with the cops. They escort Mankind out. And then we see May and Mark Henry in bed. Mark Henry is spent after that night of debauchery. And then they cut over to a bed in the same room right next to him where it's Moolah and Harvey Whippleman. Ew.
I'd at least watch it
Gun.
for a minute on a tape.
Gun.
Gun. Didn't even do a what if. Or would you?
Triple H with DX versus the Big Show for the world title. Triple H gets to the top of the ramp, says it's a no DQ match. DX just chills at the top of the ramp. Stephanie's in the recliner. Triple H shoves Tim White. DX comes in. Mr. Ass hits Show with the title. 2 count. Triple H runs down the ref. And then the best part is Triple H is in the corner running down the ref, and Triple H just fucking yells out, side slam. And Big Show hits a side slam.
I caught it.
It was so fucking blatant. Stephanie comes to the ring, gives a chair to Triple H. He'd shot to Big Show, but Mankind runs in, hits a chair shot to Triple H, choke slam, Big Show retains.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Next, we get Nitro, New Year's Evil. It sure was evil.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure NXT uses that name.
They do. Yep.
Yep.
They do a lot of the old WCW stuff. This was in Houston, and I got another alert on this one, presented in the most complete format possible due to original production technical difficulties. The runtime on this was only an hour 55. So either there was big issues on this this recording, or they just ran a shorter show because of the holidays.
I think it was a shorter show.
All right, well,
mine was too.
If I skip over something, you let me know. We see recap from Thunder. Goldberg has Jeff Jarrett by the goozle, has a message for Brett. Says tonight the massacre begins. First the outsiders, then you, and then Brett will stand alone. And this is the infamous segment where Goldberg starts breaking windows legit on a limo and rips his arm to shreds, shredding all the tendons in his arm. Hooray.
I was kind of hoping it was going to be on Nitro so we
I
could
know,
watch
right?
it in full, but we only got clips of it.
And the best part is he was so fucked up that he takes both fists and smashes the hood of the car, and when he does it, it leaves this massive blood spatter. That's how gouged up his arm was.
Gave his arm a concussion.
Yep. Somehow. We see Nash, Jeff Jarrett, and Brett heading to the ring. We get our splash intro. Somebody mentions that if Hall doesn't show up to the arena by 7 p.m., the Outsiders forfeit the tag titles. And he didn't show up. And they book a lethal lottery tag tournament starting tonight, continuing next week. What that means is people just randomly get paired up, except for the outsiders. They stay together. They stay together. Okay, sure, fine. Chris Champagne Canyon to commentary. He's mic'd up. We get Brian Knobbs versus Bam Bam. They fight off to the merch table. There was no camera there, so you could barely see the end of the match. Not like you would care anyway. Knobbs wins.
Right. I thought it was a blessing.
Yeah, seriously, it was. Sid arrives with Benoit in a Cadillac. We get a shot of a monster truck in the background. NWO's with J.J. Dillon. Nash hands over the tag title, and then Brett knees J.J. Dillon in the gut. We get a closer look at the monster truck. It's wrapped in NWO wrap, and then they see Sid's car. Sid in his fucking car. That guy just can't catch
He had a bad
break.
year for cars,
He
man.
sure did. Goldberg! Nash says, let's go get the gimmicks. And I can't wait to get back to this. We'll get there in a second. Sid comes to the ring. As usual, he cuts a promo over his music. He calls out the NWO. He says he's going for the world title. Benoit comes out, calls out Jeff Jarrett. We're going to have a caged heat match. One night, 3 matches, 2 out of 3 wins. The PA system was terrible for this. At first, I thought it was just Sid because Sid never seemed to get the idea of putting the mic up to his mouth. But even Benoit, you could barely hear the shit. We go back to the NWO. They're spray painting Sid's car, and this is how much of an effective heel Bret Hart is. Bret Hart spray painted a caricature of Sid on the hood of the car. Sick burn, bro.
I'm surprised he just didn't do a heart and wrote Sid in the middle of it. Be like, wow, we still kind of like him.
It's so great. Let's see. Next, you get Buzzkill and Mike Rotunda versus Conan and Malenko in your Lethal Lottery tournament. Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out, attacks Malenko. The Asian cheerleader jumps on Asia's back. That's a weird way to say that. Buzzkill gets the pin on Malenko. And the best part, they play Buzzkill's music. It is a legit ripoff of the New Age Outlaws music. It is 100% just a shit dollar store version of their music.
I'm going to have to re-listen to it.
Yeah. Like, they were really going all in.
I think once I saw that he won, I was like, okay, whatever, let me move on here.
It's go back and listen to it just for the fuck of it. It's fucking hilarious. The NWO 2.0 crashed the production truck, and they cut the feed by pulling the wires out of the trailer. And then when we come back, it's grainy footage because they're trying to restore the feed. A limo arrives. It's Rick Steiner, greeted by Scott Steiner. I'm sorry, it's Scott Steiner arriving, greeted by Rick. Scott's in a back brace. Rick gets him a wheelchair, and he's got a cane. NWO's on a rampage in the back. Next, you get Shane, a.k.a. Vincent, versus Tank Abbott. Abbott was fined for sucker punching Doug Dillinger. This match looked like a scene out of American History X.
The shower scene or the opening scene?
Pick one. Abbott wins securities in to keep him at bay, and Abbott leaves peacefully.
You know what stops racism? Getting fucked in the shower.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that.
In jail.
Yeah, definitely wasn't that.
You don't think that's what stopped his hate?
Maybe. Who knows?
I'll tell you something. Quick story about that movie. My buddies just got an apartment in Brockport, and it was the first time that really any of my buddies had their own place. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go party. And I get over there. Everybody is just stoned, and they just put in American History X.
Yikes.
And I was like, well, what's this? I'll give this a gander for a minute. The fuck? I left right after the movie. I was like, I gotta go, guys. Okay, this was
I gotta go hug somebody.
Go.
Yikes. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's
brutal.
Scott Steiner, we get a Scott Steiner history package thanking Scott for all he's done and contributed to wrestling. You know, this is terrible. And I'll touch more on it later. They didn't need this. It was terrible. So Rick wheels Scott out to the old Steiner line music. Scott uses the cane to get in the ring, and he says, Shivani's putting it over the best that he can. Rick hugs Scott, and Scott cuts a promo. He must have put some Visine in his eyes before coming out for the tears, because they were just noticeable. Doc says he had degenerative disc disease, needs another surgery infusion. Doc told him to retire. NWO music hits. Jeff Jarrett has an NWO guitar. Brett calls Scott a washed-up nobody. Scott leaves. Nash and Jeff Jarrett throw the wheelchair out of the ring. Brett doesn't know what to say. You know, Jeff Jarrett acts like he's all choked up. Nash grabs the mic, tells the production assistant, "Don't wrap me up," which is fucking great. Jeff Jarrett goes down to the floor, hits the PA in the heat with the guitar, and Nash goes, "Oh, it's a break. We'll be right back."
Excellent fourth wall production break there. That was a good one.
You know, of all the bullshit, I still love Nash. He's the man. They cut to break. We come back. NWO's still in the ring. Nash says, "Whoever took our belts, bad move." He tells Bill Bush, the president of WCW, "Let us handle the wrestling business. You can take the straps from us sooner or later. Nobody can beat us." He says Hall's going to be in Houston. And Jeff Jarrett says, "Anybody want a survey tonight?" "Well, I got it right here." And then Nash, with the line of the night, "How many Houston cowboy pussies can you put in one building?" Yikes.
I'm surprised that shit actually is still on Peacock that
Me
way.
too. Yeah, they were just going full tilt with this one. Brett compares Bill Goldberg to Dr. Kevorkian, but he can't say it. He says Dr. Kevorkian.
Just never could do a solid promo.
No. Jeff Jarrett cuts promo, says you should call it the Asshole Dome instead of the Astrodome. And then Sid drives his car down the aisle. Sid and Benoit come out with bats. They clear the ring. Hennig comes in for reasons. He gets thrown over the top rope onto the hood of the guitar. Next, you get home video footage of the Revolution's Assault on America vignette pass. Next, you get Norman Smiley in Asia versus Saturn and Jim Duggan in the tag tournament team such and such thing. I don't know. Smiley's
lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Smiley's dressed as a catcher for the Astros. Douglas joins commentary. Mentions Jim Duggan's wife and kids are in the crowd. Smiley tags in Asia, who goes after Saturn. Saturn sets her up for the DVD, but puts her down and says, Go tag Smiley back in. She shoves him, and he pie faces her. She low blows him, hits a lariat. Douglas is yelling at her to stop. She tries a superplex. It took forever for them to set that up. It took forever. Mm-hmm. They eventually hit it. Smiley gets the pin. Asia hits a belly-to-belly on Smiley. Duggan attacks Saturn. And then Jim Duggan's wife and kids come in to celebrate with him. Sure.
Russo.
You know, it was fucking hilarious. We had a birthday party for Vincent yesterday, and one of the gifts we got him was like a pitching machine. You know, not like one of the automatic ones. You put a ball in there, and you step on the pedal, and it fires the ball. And it's pretty cool. Then the box was pretty long, but the way that I carried it was like Jim Duggan carrying the 2x4. I walked in the house, I'm like,
always.
Ho! Next you get...
Did you pull the tape out of your crotch?
Yeah. I had to be kid-friendly, next you get Billy Kidman versus Jeff Jarrett for the U.S. title. Brett and Nash come to the ring with bats. The Filthy Animals come out. They brawl on the floor while the match is still going on. Kidman sets up his shooting star press, but Nash takes his ankle out with a baseball bat. Jeff Jarrett retains, and then Nash attacks Ray's injured ankle with the bat. Gene's in ring, and he says, "What you're about to see is a total mockery, and I have the displeasure of introducing the total package and Elizabeth." Sting's music plays. Luger comes out dressed in Sting. Liz is in her Sting dress. This might have to be a new bumper. Being dressed as Sting must have scrambled Luger's brain. It was that or the pills. He was basically trying to be Sting, but talking about Sting in the third person. It was weird. Here's the quote from Luger. "Come on, Gene, work with me here. What happened was, Mean Gene, the total package just annihilated me. The total package just kicked my ass. Ow!" God. Terrible. Lights go out, come back
Very
up.
Terrible.
There's Black Roses in the ring. Liz and Luger powder. Nash is on the phone with Hall. Seems a little pissed off. He gives him directions to the arena. Next, you get Fit Finlay and Mang versus the Harris Boys in the Lethal Lottery Tag Tournament. Harris Boys, if you're not familiar, are Creative Control in their DOA-ish gimmick. It's pretty much what it is. Mang and Fit are fighting before DOA even get there. I'm just calling them DOA from now on. I don't give a fuck. Fit and Mang fight off. DOA wins. The lights go out. And someone's in the ring beating down DOA. They run off as the lights come back on. And we cut to David and Daphne watching TV. Shivani takes the time to remind us that last week when Russo was talking about the remote, hey, Shane, do you got the remote? Because the remote, that's where the power is. The power's in the remote. David and Daphne have the remote now. Get it? Do you get it? Great.
Might as well just be the fucking golden egg.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. And you know what? Jesus fucking Christ is right. Because we come back from break, and I don't know, this might have been part of the production issues. It breaks right into Vampiro in the ring with 3 yutzes with dance music playing. It's a new stable called 3 Count, which is Evan Courageous, Shannon Moore, and Shane Helms.
Yep.
It's
both of them, man. Both Helms and Shannon Moore. I forgot that they were in there, man, because, I mean, Shannon Moore was pretty big with the Hardys as well. They all came up all together and shit, so I forgot they were all together in this. I'm like, it's Hurricane, but holy shit, I forgot he had a completely other gimmick when he first started. Yeah, so basically it's a boy band gimmick. Courageous is one of them. Then we hear David laughing on the PA. He comes out with Daphne. Maestro on Thunder was taken out by some guy from a filling station that apparently was part of some vignette or promo. And it's Crowbar. Get it? Because David uses the crowbar, and this guy's name is Crowbar because he works in a filling station. I've been waiting for it. Every time that you've said Crowbar, I'm like, this guy's got to be showing up.
Yep, absolutely. Heenan says, who knows what's going on here tonight? Exactly.
Good. I think he was really asking that.
So it's Vampiro and Evan Courageous versus David Flair and Crowbar in the Lethal Lottery tag tourney. Crowbar hits Vampiro with a lead pipe. David gets a pin. Then 3 Count gets a chance to dance, and Crowbar and David take them out. David, the best part is right before, so 3 Count's dancing. David and Crowbar get in behind him. David's got the fucking crowbar. And when the music plays, David does like a 2-step before he attacks him. He does like this little shuffle.
The show's just getting worse.
It's so great. And then, as if that wasn't enough, a new tag team called Standard and Practices come to the ring. Again, you can't make this up. It's Lenny Lane and Lodi in suits with briefcases, and they have a secretary with them, Miss Hancock, who you may recognize as a young Stacy Keibler.
Yep.
Basically, this group is Right to Censor before Right to Censor. It's essentially what they are.
Yeah. WWE was like, we can make one better.
Yeah, right? I guess that makes up for 3 Count ripping off Too Cool. Kind of balances it off.
Oh, God, you're right, man. I just thought they were really just trying to do like the boy band thing. But you're right, it is just ripping off Too Cool.
100%. And then Standards and Practices get jumped by David and Crowbar. So, hooray. NWO's in the back. Jeff Jarrett wants to know if Hall's going to be there tonight. The audio cuts in and out. Yeah. Hooray. Let's see here. Next, you get Disco Dickbag and Big Vito versus Canyon and Buff. Lethal Lottery tag tourney. Canyon tells his girls to head to the back because they keep flirting with Johnny the Bull. Disco gets a chain, but he hits Vito on accident. Buff hits the blockbuster and Vito gets the pin. Disco hits Buff with the chain. Him and the goons beat Buff and stuff. Next, we get Nash with the NWO coming to the ring. Hall's not there. Nash gets on the mic, says, Scott hasn't arrived yet, but if it's all right with Bill Bush, I'd like to have a couple minutes. I know he's on his way to the building. Should give him some leeway. Music hits. It's the Wall and Sid. So it's 2-on-1 in the Lethal Lottery tournament. We get a ref bump. Brett and Jeff Jarrett get involved. While Sid's fighting off Jeff Jarrett, Brett hits the wall with a bat. Nash gets the pin. Benoit comes in. And then we see Big Papa Pump sort of limping to the ring with a baseball bat. Steiner attacks Sid with the bat. Then Benoit takes off the sweater, has an NWO shirt on, takes the fucking thing off. Here's what I want to say about this. If they didn't play that stupid vignette before Steiner came out to the ring earlier, and they fucking pulled the trigger when he was cutting the promo, this would have been Mark Henry level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, it was too long drawn out how they did it.
Yeah, if they would have just
At the
done
end,
it then, it was Mark Henry, before Mark Henry. It was perfect, but of course they fucking blew it. NWO flyers fall from the sky, and they say, well, he said Scott would be here, because they kept saying Scott, not Scott Hall. So Scott was there. It was Scott Steiner. Sid's car is still there at ringside, so Nash gets on the hood of it, and they drive off. Brett gets the monster truck while Sid is still in the car and run it over, and Heenan ends the show by saying, Happy New Year! We just killed somebody.
Glad you guys just witnessed a homicide. Enjoy your loved ones. Dear God. Good and terrible.
Good and
That's
terrible.
the best way to describe the Monday Night Wars. But that's actually kind of the theme for the end of the year awards. Good and terrible. Let's go to the topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for...
Best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. Hold 2, arm bar.
Sodas rule. Yeah, they do.
Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family gradunzel. It's me, Austin.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
I did it for The Rock.
This week's top topic.
You know something, Mean Gene? John Cena. Wrestling's not fake. The Rolex wearing one. Diamond ring wearing one. Kid stealing. Woo. Wheeling dealing. One. Limousine riding. One. Jet flying. One. Son of a gun. Woo.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
If you smell.
The following ranking order and final decisions are a completely bias-based order, based off The Professor and ODM made it. And as always, they like to let you know they have not worked in the business, but have been lifelong invested fans much like you, our listeners. With not only their opinions involved, but with countless amount of hours of research done each week, they make sure to provide proper facts and history to back it up. However, they do know that your opinion may vary from theirs. If there is anything you want to chat about, bring to their attention. If there is something they missed or forgot, or you just want to let them know they are out of their freaking minds, feel free to shoot them a message on Facebook or Twitter, or email them at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com. As always, they do appreciate all feedback and continued support. At the end of the day, they want to make sure that you do see the best of the best before you die. And now, this week's top topic.
I think I'd have to at least start by saying podcast of the year. Us. Yeah, okay. So, we are talking about everything that was 2024. It's funny because last year I feel like I had a lot more match of the year nominees. This year was, I don't know, maybe it was because AEW was producing the same match in every fucking way possible that it was. Anyway, but we do have love for everybody and all the promotions because we have categories for everybody in here. So including with our opener, Male Wrestler of the Year. Somewhat of a lengthy list, but I think we'll narrow down who the real one is. And look, when we say Male Wrestler of the Year, it doesn't have to be that you've had the best wrestling matches. I would say, character development, wrestling-wise, but also, how strong or, your heat or, being face statuses. Yeah, would you kind of agree to that?
Yeah, definitely. How much you were in the main event picture, or even maybe not that, just the quality of the storylines you're in, drawing money.
Yep. Well, here we go. Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe this motherfucker better be in the fucking Royal Rumble. I really hope so.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, Jey Uso, R-Truth, Jacob Fatu, Will Ospreay, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Dirty Dom, Chad Gable, or Zack Sabre Jr. I'll open it to you.
Yeah, this one's tougher because everybody on this list brings a little bit of something, right? Dirty Dom's got the heat. CM Punk has just drawn money, and Drew McIntyre's reinvented himself, without doing much to change what he's doing. Joe Hendry is over as hell, and it was natural. Gunther's breaking records and staying in the main event picture. Jacob Fatu's made an immediate impact to the point where it's like one of my favorites right now. I think when you look at the year as a whole, though, it's Cody. Cody's drawing money. He's been in the main event. He won his world title. Yes, he's getting stale now, but overall, over the course of the year, he is a true world champ. He's drawing money. He's at the top. The people cared. It was a moment. I think you got to go with Cody Rhodes.
I absolutely agree. It's funny because Lil Jon said he's starting to become Cena to me. Like where it's starting. I'm fucking hate this guy. It's everything.
He needs to go away for a while.
I get it.
Almost.
That or I don't know, man. He's a merch seller for the kids, man.
Exactly.
Like, I would definitely like to see him do a heel turn.
It'd be great.
We'll see what happens. But a close second for me, I think he had the year of his entire career was Drew McIntyre.
Sure.
Main evented a lot of stuff, or like at least high profile, not main eventing, but a couple of world title matches. He was, of course, the Punk feud. Solid guy all year, so I would say he was a close second.
Yeah.
Female Wrestler of the Year, a little shorter list. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Gunn, Chelsea Green, Athena, Toni Storm, Timeless Toni Storm, Mariah May, Jordan Grace, Mina Shikarawa, and Mercedes Moné. Okay, that last one was just to be funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll take the lead on this one here. I got to be honest, on an overall best of the year, I got to give it to Liv Morgan. Not just because I'm a mark for Liv, but most solid year pushed. Has taken the role, and I think it's solid as a heel. I mean, like, she gets being paired with Dom probably helps a lot, but she's having her best career as well, just kind of like her best part of her career, just like Drew is. That's kind of where I would go for that. Rhea took some time off, and I think she's gotten stale to me.
Well, I mean, I think the obvious choice is Nia Jax. I mean, how could you not say that she's... Okay, Rhea Ripley is not stale to me. I understand this Liv thing has been going on for a long time. She did miss some time from injury. So she is my favorite by far. Was she the Wrestler of the Year? Not necessarily. I'm sure you saw Sports Illustrated voted Toni Storm as Woman of the Year. Maybe if she had better booking, the Timeless thing, I know a lot of people got tired of. I thought it was decent. It didn't.
Oh, I was fine with it. It could have kept going for.
It didn't accomplish that much, though. And I think you're right. I think Liv Morgan. And listen, you can make the comparison to, CM Punk. Listen, Drew McIntyre is fantastic at what he does. He doesn't need CM Punk to make him better. But CM Punk being in a program with him certainly helped. Certainly raised his stock. And I think Liv being in the program with Rhea Ripley and having Dom join her certainly raised her stock, and she's made the most of it. I don't think she's that great of a wrestler, but as a heel, she's been knocking it out of the park. So I'm with you on that one. We'll go with Liv Morgan.
Fair. Switch up this one first. I'm going to go to Tag Team of the Year. So this is what we have. I mean, some of these guys were tag champs. You got to put them in the running, like the Young Bucks, the Outrunners, Motor City Machine Gun, Bloodline, Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, the Creed Brothers, House of Black, the New Elite, which that should have been in the stable. My bad. Whoops. The Street Profits, Private Party. I even got their names right for both of them for this.
Yeah.
And the Hardys. Man, I like that the Hardys got a tag team championship. Again, it's cool for that. Awesome Truth ran the beginning part of the year, I'd say, ever since maybe a little bit before WrestleMania, and then all the way through, held the titles for a bit. For a tag team, to be honest with you, I actually want to lean a little bit towards Judgment Day, which is Finn Balor and JD. I think that they were solid this year.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly could be in the stable, but when you're just looking at McDonough and Finn, they did hold the titles for a long time. They didn't defend them a lot. That was kind of the rub, but they're heels, so why would they? And McDonough was just a guy that we used to make fun of for having a big head, and he's also the heel that takes a lot of the bumps.
And still has a big head.
And he still has a big head, which makes it look even funnier. Yeah, that's tough because the Bloodline, again, that's more to me of a stable. Motor City Machine Guns, yeah, they did a lot of good stuff in TNA or Impact. And they started off hot, but they already lost the tag titles because of the DIY turn. Outrunners are naturally over, but they haven't really done much. Fuck the Bucks. I mean, I was kind of leaning towards Judgment Day myself. I really wish I had a contrarian take so we could argue a little bit about it, but I got to go with you on this one. It is what it is. Yeah. Tag team wrestling's kind of been dead for a while. We've been saying it for a while, so.
Stable of the year. The New Bloodline. The Learning Tree. The Don Callis family. The reuniting OG Bloodline. American Made, which is the Creed brothers and Chad Gable. The Wyatt Six. Final Testament. American Made, LWO, Damage Control, this is where the New Elite is, and the Blackpool Combat Club / Death Riders.
You put American Made in there twice? You must really like them.
Wow. Holy shit. I really wanted them to win.
I know, right?
And I read it twice, too. That's even better.
Did.
So, for overall stable of the year, I'll let you take this one.
Oh, this is going to be really hard. I want to say the Wyatt Six just because they've had an impact, and I feel like they're doing a good job of not oversaturating the product with it. They're kind of using it sparse, right? It's a little bit here, a little bit there. I kind of like that. Fuck the New Elite. Same with BCC / Death Riders. Damage Control, they had too many missing pieces. Asuka's been hurt. Dakota Kai's there sometimes she's not, so it's really more of a tag team now. LWO, okay. American Made has done some good stuff. It sucks because I was really hoping Gable would be able to go out and do some single stuff. Final Testament, it's starting to pick up. The OG Bloodline has been more of a resurgence. It hasn't been a steady thing throughout the year. I got to go with the New Bloodline. The fact that they've been able to keep the story going and not make it stale and make it fresh. And again, Jacob Fatu and even Tama Tonga are, just great additions. And Solo, we've always been. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
I 100% agree. I have not one thing I would have argued on that at all. The only thing I will say is I think that Final Testament is making some good traction, and maybe by the end of next year we could be talking about them. Mm-hmm. Remember last year, I think it was Judgment Day was the winners.
Probably. Probably.
Stable. So, promotion of the year. WWE, AEW, TNA, or New Japan. I think New Japan's probably had one, just booking storyline wise, probably one of the worst years I think I've seen. TNA is making a real decent comeback.
They are.
And proving that AEW is definitely not really in this running for this category. You can't beat it, not necessarily just because of production, but you want to talk about production. I mean, shit, actually, AEW has a lot of money. They could really do anything they want production-wise. Promotion of the year has to go to WWE. They're selling out everywhere again. It's merch sales are up. People are happy. There's very little to complain about. I mean, go back to, let's say, 4 years ago, the whole fucking Bobby Lashley and Lana, the FTR, I think, were shaving each other's backs and shit like that. It's just a lot of dumb shit. So you know what? I'm very happy with where WWE is at now.
Yeah, and listen, everything that we've been looking at so far has been WWF stuff. So, I mean, you can call us marks if you want, but the fact of the matter is that they're just putting on a better product. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Which will make probably into the next one pretty easy, but TV show of the year. You got Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Impact, and NXT. I'll be honest with you, NXT actually is more enticing to watch than Dynamite when it comes to TV shows right now. I'm not going to act like I've watched a lot of Impact. I read a lot of the spoilers, but it's not on where I'm able to see it. Raw and SmackDown, of course, have been the leading shows. Which one's the better one? I'm actually going to say I got to lean this year. Now, last year, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure we gave it to SmackDown because everything with the bloodline, everything that was going on, especially with Sammy, all that shit. I think this year we got to give it to Raw because everything with the Punk and Drew stuff, I mean, outside of Cody winning the championship and all that stuff with SmackDown, Raw was still hot. That's where Rock beat the living shit out of Cody and was dropping F-bombs left and right. So I think Raw this year was the better show to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. SmackDown definitely still has the Bloodline stuff. They've got the Cody stuff. They got KO. They had Randy Orton. A lot of good stuff. Raw, you had Punk. You had Drew. You have the Judgment Day. You have Rhea Liv. You do have American Made. That's where mostly you saw the Wyatt Six. You have you have Gunther. I mean, it really is just. I think to me, it's more the headliner.
Agreed. It always has been. I've always thought SmackDown's the B show, unfortunately. But again, last year they took over because they had the better wrestling going on and stories. Heel turn of the year. There were several. Chad Gable. Remember him turning on Sami Zayn as Sami was hugging his fucking wife. The Rock. DIY. The Rock, that's where Final Boss comes in. DIY. The New Day. Jon Moxley. Pete Dunne. The Miz. Liv Morgan. And Kevin Owens. Kevin turning on Cody outside the bus. Liv, I think, basically, once she just took out Rhea, she has made it her mission. I think that's basically when she turned heel. Miz turns on Truth and joins Final Testament. Pete Dunne's pissed because people keep calling him Butch. Jon Moxley suffocates Danielson. That was definitely a way to turn heel. I like the Chad Gables, except, well, I'll get into it in a couple minutes, another category. The Rock was a big one. But I got to be honest, man, and we talked about it because you got us. You got me. A good swerve should get you. And I think that the New Day was the best swerve of the entire year.
Agreed. The instant heat. Instant heat. Now, where they go with it from here, who knows? But the turn itself was great. They didn't even have to lay a finger on anybody to turn heel.
Right.
Think about that shit.
Well,
and the build-up.
That's very true. It's 100% true. Gable, I think I could have seen come in, but I've also seen him be a heel before. Rock, I kind of just thought he was going to be a heel anyway with the whole Cody situation anyway. DIY I didn't see coming, but Moxley, I was like, most people are like, whatever. Miz is the big show when it comes to switching, baby face to heel. Owens, not shocked at all.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
I mean? I loved the heel turn for me. Definitely was New Day. They did a great job with it. It was good shit. Speaking of, our good shit moment of the year. Now, some of these were, pretty good actually. The beginning of the year starts off Sting retiring as a tag champ at AEW Revolution, with his sons actually being involved in the match too. The Rock becomes a final boss, turns heel, and I said to Triple H, Cody should be the one main event WrestleMania. I still love that shit. The amount of memes that came out of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I told Vince, you should definitely take a shit on her head. Damian Priest cashes in at WrestleMania on Drew McIntyre with the help of CM Punk. Cody finishes the story, wins the championship, which you called pretty much to a T, how it was going to be done. Dirty Dom turns on Rhea Ripley. I think that was at SummerSlam. Bryan Danielson wins the AEW World Championship in Wembley. Nigel McGuinness returns to wrestling at Wembley. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre fought over a fucking bracelet and had the best feud of the year trilogy. Jey Uso won the Intercontinental Championship. The Hardys won the TNA Tag Team titles at Bound for Glory. NXT and TNA are doing business together with consistent talent crossover. Bronson Reed is getting a very big push. And the OG Bloodline reunites. That's what we have for good shit moments of the year. Take it away.
You think it's funny that all these years we talk about how Vince says good shit and then all those allegations come out and it really takes on a whole different meaning now?
Christ.
I know.
Oh, man.
There's a few. There's a
name.
There's a few on here. Bronson Reed's push, okay. It's been enjoyable. I feel like they kind of flubbed it a little bit here and there. NXT and TNA doing business together is great. We're getting eyes on a lot more talent that we are aware of and maybe not have seen as much because they're just strictly on TNA television. The Punk Drew McIntyre is by far the feud of the year. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. But it was a lot of different things that made up the feud, so it's not just a moment. Dom turning on Rhea was great, I thought. But to me, if we're talking about the good shit of the moment, the payoff was Cody. The payoff was Roman losing the title. You know?
Yeah. Honestly, I think even the crowd was probably still like, we want this, but they're not going to fucking do this. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people had their doubts. I did. So when it happened, I was like, wow, they got me. It was shit. I mean, it was the Goosebumps story. You know what I mean? It was a fucking good moment. Samantha Irvin gave her best fucking announcement ever and then leaves. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think Cody finishing the story, a nice second place, really. I think Damian Priest cashing in was pretty big. I liked it. It was a pretty good moment of the year. Sadly, we have a lot more in the next category, and it's called the WTF moment of the year. And sadly...
This is where AEW might win something.
One company. Yeah. That's a good one. I have a feeling we're going to agree on this one pretty quick.
You think?
So, yeah. Jon Moxley wins the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for New Japan. Okada debuts and becomes the 5th best champion in the company. Vince McMahon is exposed with the Janelle Grant court case. Bad shit. CM Punk is injured in his first fucking televised match back at the Royal Rumble. TK takes a bump from Jungle Goat in the EVPs.
Specify which kind of bump.
Yeah, I meant a wrestling bump.
Okay.
I didn't say with. Takes a bump from.
Okay.
Well, unless he was doing it off their bellies. Anyway, Sami Zayn dethrones Gunther's record-breaking Intercontinental Championship reign.
Yeah.
Another great WTF moment. Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania. Boy, was that a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Most super kicks I've ever seen in the match. MJF returns to Double or Nothing and has a brand new tattoo.
Yikes.
At the same pay-per-view, Adam Copeland, Edge, jumps off the top of the cage, shatters both of his ankles. AEW and the Bucks show the Jack Perry CM Punk footage. The Wyatt Six do a new debut. They re-debut, and it's a full-blown fucking massacre, and Chad Gable was shot in the head. Still, yeah. I remember rewinding it going, wait, what? I'm sorry, did I just see it? I did. He is dead. All right. Moxley suffocates Bryan Danielson with a plastic bag. Twice. Hangman uses a hypodermic needle on Swerve Strickland. Carlitos thinks he needs to learn Chinese. Will Ospreay takes a jumping tombstone pile driver on the steps and continues wrestling for a little while. Nia Jax's chair shots at War Games.
No, bitch.
Tony Khan's response to Phoenix. I don't know. Was it real or not? I'm not sure.
I know. I think it was a gimmick.
God damn it. I just thought he was hungry. Ricky Starks being frozen out. And the MJF Adam Cole feud. I mean, it's literally gone back, forth. Nobody knows who to cheer with or for. I'm going to lead on this one. I'll be honest with you, out of all of these things, the worst thing that really happened, and I mentioned it earlier, showing the Perry Punk footage was the worst thing AEW could have done, and everything dropped from there. I mean, Collision ratings dropped the moment
Punk was gone,
Tony opened it and said, I have fired CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, well, I don't have to watch tonight. My night's open, honey. What do you want to do?
Exactly.
So, for me, honestly, I think it was this showing the footage.
Yeah, I mean, my close second would have been Vince McMahon and the Janelle Grant court case, because we read that thing on the air, and It was insane, the things that came out.
It is, but I was more going, I think, wrestling.
100%.
Because, I mean, what was the most fucked up moment, really, in real life? Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, AEW was struggling to begin with, and then they just shot themselves in the foot.
He was taking shits on girls backstage. AEW was taking shits in the middle of their TV show.
Sure.
And the last category, my favorite, 2024, the Match of the Year candidates. So, decent list here. From Wrestle Kingdom 18, Danielson versus Okada, the second one. And that is the one where Okada went over, because Danielson went over the first time and made him tap. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke almost had it today, twice. Almost. At AEW Revolution, on the same pay-per-view, Darby Allin and Sting winning the tag titles from the Young Bucks. At New Japan's New Beginning in Osaka, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., the second meeting, which was just another fucking wrestling clinic. The 5 versus 5 cage match with Bullet Club War Dogs and United Empire. Actually, one of the very last matches that Will Ospreay actually had in the promotion before going over to AEW. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns 2 from WrestleMania Night 2. Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay at Dynasty. Sheamus versus Gunther in the King of the Ring semifinals on Raw. Dude, that was when Sheamus wore a handprint for like a week. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, the first match, which was at Backlash, and then even their second match. Both of them were fucking really, really good, which was the I Quit match at Clash at the Castle. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre 1, which was at SummerSlam with Rollins as the ref. Wes Lee versus Obafemi from NXT Heatwave, which was a Dynamite match. But speaking of Dynamite 250, where MJF and Will Ospreay went just under an hour, and MJF, he won the International Championship. Or one of the championships, I don't know. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland, title versus career at Wembley at All In. Nick Nemeth and Josh Alexander for their 60-minute Iron Man match at TNA Emergence. Will Ospreay versus Pac at All Out. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre 3, Hell in a Cell. And All Games. OG Bloodline and CM Punk versus the Bloodline and Bronson Reed. Had to put that one in there because we said it was well done in the best version that WWE even or NXT had produced all together, especially storyline-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I obviously watched all of these, I know some of these were not at your exposure. I will leave it open to you to tell me what you personally think was your favorite match of the year.
There's some good matches here, that I did watch, and then there's some matches where I can look at the names and say I know they're on this list because they actually did a great job. And you're seeing a lot of the same names here. For me, the match that I saw that really made me go, "Holy shit!" I watched a whole storyline, and it culminated here, and the match paid off. It's Punk Drew 3, Hell in a Cell.
I thought you were going to say Cody, I swear to God.
No.
I was like, come on, dude, really? It's funny because you had the cage match with Swerve and Hangman Page, and they had to use staple guns, hypodermic needles, all that shit. Drew did take a nasty fucking bump off on that steel steps, and also I forgot the bunch of bracelet beads.
Yeah.
That to me was just the funniest fucking thing.
It was awesome.
I'm in the same agreement with you. The only other match I will actually say, and I give that, yes, match of the year, because of the storyline, seeing it all the way through, the payoff, and now Punk moving on, Drew moving on. The second match to that actually would be from Revolution, Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. Fuck me today. God damn it. I only should try it once a day. it was the match you wanted it to be. Ospreay Pac was the match you knew it was going to be. But this was Konosuke's best fucking match that he's had in TNA altogether. So it was big. It was awesome. However, yeah, man, I give it to Punk and McIntyre 3. Hell in a Cell was fantastic, and it didn't even headline. And I was mad about that not headlining, but then obviously, you know, Rock had to come out for his 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Good shit, man. Good shit. We actually agreed with pretty much everything.
I know. It was lackluster from a content standpoint, but at least we're on the same page here.
It's funny, man. You go back to our fucking teaser. We're like, oh, we're going to argue all the time.
Yeah.
We really don't, man. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's just Joe Kobashi. We'll always have that.
Yeah, you still piss me off for that one. Next week, we are back, and it's it's the, New Year's Day episode, right? Yes, it will be, actually. So, with that being said, we're going to start off the year by giving our 2025 predictions and aspirations. You know, things that we'd like to see happen, but also main predictions. Who do we think is going to headline WrestleMania? Who do you think is going to win Rumble? You know, good things like that. So I'm looking forward to discussing what's to come for the pro wrestling year in 2025.
Me too.
Other than that, wow. Okay, good job, man. Dynamite dropping.
They don't call him the best color man in the league for nothing, folks.
Well, I'm going to go brush my teeth with
root beer?
Root beer. Oh, good shit. All right, man. Hey, thanks for listening. We wish you a very Merry Christmas. We'll be back next week for the New Year's show. And outside of that, I'm the professor bidding you a farewell. And he's ODM giving you his holly jolly thoughts.
Thanks, Professor. And a Merry Christmas to you. I really don't have much to say. I got shit to do. I got to go make a lasagna. I'm just excited for the holidays. Everybody loves getting gifts. Professor, Merry Christmas to you and Mrs. Professor and Nova. Send my love along to them. And I'm just going to leave you with a little something special here. I want to help you out because that's what brothers do for each other. I'm sending you a message over our chat here. Hopefully this helps you. Konosuke Takeshita. There you go. Bring on 2025. Sweet. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM The Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
Yo, you fucking broke me there.
I wasn't
Holy
expecting
shit.
it.
You can brush your teeth with root beer. Oh, now Nova's getting into
I see that. Yeah, I know,
thing. You see her. Yeah, she came in during as soon as you said the joke. Oh my god! Yo, you fucking got me on that one. Holy shit! I think that's got to be possibly name of the show is brushing your teeth with root beer. Oh my god! And we use the picture of Ricochet with the toilet paper.
Perfect.
Holy shit! All right, what do you need? 5?
Five's
10?
fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick smoke.